Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Zippo Firestarting Multi-Tool. We all know Zippo for their famous and iconic lighters, but Zippo also makes a lot of other great EDC and survival items like this Firestarting Multi-Tool. Before we dive deeper into this Zippo Firestarting Multi-Tool, I have to give a big thanks to my friends at Huckberry for sending this tool my way. Huckberry is an online shop and journal that brings people the best new brands, gear, and stories to inspire you. Huckberry is a great fit for me since they have a great selection of clothing, footwear, as well as EDC gear like knife and multi-tools. They offer a number of quality exclusive house brands, as well as some of my favorite third-party brands like Leatherman and New Balance. If you'd like to check out what Huckberry has to offer, I've left an affiliate link down in the description. Before we dive deeper into the multi-tool, let's do a little size comparison up against some of my favorite multi-tools. Here it is up against the Leatherman Free P2. This is my go-to EDC multi-tool. Here it is up against the Victorinox Classic SD, probably the most popular multi-tool of all time. Here it is up against the Victorinox Huntsman. Here it is up against the Leatherman Charge Plus Titanium. And here it is up against the Leatherman Skeletool. As you can see, the Zippo Firestarter is more on par with the Huntsman in terms of length. And while it is smaller than the Leatherman tools, it is still relatively thick. And it's actually on par with the Huntsman in terms of thickness as well. And next, let's compare it up against a ruler. Ignoring the paracord lanyard and the little hook at the end, it comes in around 3 3/4 of an inch long. And in terms of sharpened blade length, the blade comes in at 2 1/4 of an inch, and then with the blade open in terms of the entire length, it comes in a little over 5.5 inches. And lastly, let's compare it up against a scale. As you can see, the Firestarting Multi-Tool comes in at 3.8 ounces in comparison to the Free P2. Free P2 is 7.8, Charge Plus Titanium 9.1, the Huntsman is 3.4, the Classic SD only 0.8, and the Skeletool is 5.2. In terms of the materials, the tools themselves are made out of steel and plastics, and the outer shell of the tool is made out of some red aluminum. It's textured, and you also have the Zippo logo on both sides. Let's start from the outside. As you can see, there's a nice little hook with a paracord lanyard, and it's attached to a spring hook that allows you to easily detach it from the multi-tool. And this paracord is more than just black paracord, it's actually Firestarting paracord. To use the paracord for fire starting, you want to cut open the paracord and reveal the wax-coated red strand. That wax-coated red strand is very flammable and will easily start fires should you throw sparks on them or use a traditional lighter. In the main tool, all of the tools are slip joint mechanisms. When you open it up, they have a nice little detent when you open it, but of course they are non-locking. The first tool on the main tool is a tinder grater, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's for grating wood to create small pieces of tinder to start fires. And this is very similar to a food grater. It looks almost exactly like it. It's relatively sharp on this side. You'll get a piece of wood and just do this and get all the small pieces of tinder and let it pile up, and then just throw it onto your fire pit and you have a nice set of tinder. The next tool on the inside is a spark wheel and flint holder. Now this mechanism is basically the same thing as what you'd find on a traditional Zippo lighter. You have a piece of flint on that brass piece, then of course you have the striker, just like a traditional Zippo lighter. Of course it doesn't have a small filament like a lighter, and there is no fuel. This tool is simply for throwing sparks like that. And ideally you'd put this up against the tinder you created and or the flammable paracord. You'd throw sparks onto it and then it would start a fire. Another interesting part of this tool is that these two little grooves on each side are supposed to be storage for spare pieces of flint. Those are sold separately, and ideally you'd buy Zippo flints. And moving on towards the other side of the tool, you get the more traditional multi-tool tools, but of course these are very useful tools for fire starting. First up, you have a stainless steel knife blade. This tool only retails for $22, so the steel on this blade is simply just called a stainless steel. Right out the box, I'd say it's okay. It's definitely not the sharpest out of the box, but because it's a simple stainless steel, you can probably easily touch up the edge and make it a lot sharper. Of course, you can use this knife to create feather sticks or simply carve pieces of wood for your fire. And next up, you have a saw. Now, thankfully, the saw is pretty sharp. This will be great for cutting down sticks and branches to add to your fire pit. And lastly is a small little combination tool. You have a little flathead screwdriver / pry bar, as well as a bottle opener. These tools aren't the most useful for fire starting, but they're pretty good for an outdoor or camping environment. All in all, for only $22, I think this is a pretty solid camping / survival multi-tool. This is a more specialized multi-tool, which I think is really cool. It has a lot more specialized tools like a tinder grater, and of course the spark wheel and the flammable paracord. I think it is a rock solid combination of fire starting tools, and if you aren't carrying a regular lighter or have some flammable fuel, I feel like this multi-tool could definitely get the job done when creating a fire in the outdoors. So what do you guys think of this Zippo fire starting multi-tool? I'd definitely like to know down in the comments. Another big thanks to Huckberry for sending this tool my way. That's gonna do it for this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Follow me on my socials. If you really love the review, please consider leaving a super thanks in the tip jar below, and thanks for watching.